Christmas and Thanksgiving appetites. I don't even see my closest family half the time. Going out ain't an option, I won't compromise. I got integrity and more heart than Valentine. Kyrie tweeted a book they sell on Amazon, owned by the same folks that told him to apologize. Remember, slaves couldn't read, wasn't allowed. So it's meaning when I tell you I'm black and I'm proud. Murdered us with the sword, that's how we learned religion. Community standards violate my First Amendment. Discontinue from my heritage under these bastards. Life a bitch, they make up lies and give you public lashes. I understand they confused by who the devil is. Why my people get so mad when I tell them this? Valley of dry bones, my niggas skeletons. It's hectic out there, hope you checking on your
Okay, there we go. Hey, so Lucky, we had a little technical difficulty, but we back. Then let me just start it over then. We can see the stream. Okay, that's all. Let me know if y'all can see now. You can write in the chat. Let me just good. Start it over then. Okay. Once again, with the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA, man. And today we're gonna be talking about nepotism. That's a hot topic right now with the Lakers and LeBron James and the whole family, I guess, that orchestrated this thing to draft Bronny, his son, I think in the second round, like the 55th pick. So, yeah, I mean, it got the whole sports world in uproar. You got people on one side saying, hey, man, he did what he's supposed to do. He did what any good father would do. Then you got people on the other side saying, oh, this is just, this is what's wrong with this country. Nepotism is wrong. I mean, it shouldn't happen in sports or in life in general. So it's a polarizing subject. So I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. I got a couple of videos I wanted to play. And just use the scriptures to show you that what LeBron did, like he did what we're all supposed to do. Now, let me give you my disclaimer. Do not go to LeBron James for spiritual advice. Don't go to him for medical advice. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to him for anything dealing with the Most High in Christ. Don't do that. But he might be able to show you a thing or two about being a good father. You know what I'm saying? And the brother's not in the truth. I'm not saying that, he's a righteous man. But what I am saying that what he did and what he was able to do for his son is biblical. I saw some fake Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Ironically, fake Israelites are saying that, it's wrong and, Bronny James didn't deserve it. No, what's the word I saw? I saw unqualified. He's not even qualified. God damn, Aaron. Nigga not even qualified. What was he playing? Was he playing tennis or something first? Or what? Was he on the couch eating chips? So Bron just picked this nigga off the couch. Like, hey, you come play for the Lakers. I guess. I guess is what it was. But either way, though, I want to get to some of these videos. One that I want to show is wait, hold on. You oppress. Wait, I want to show y'all this right here. This right here is a list of things. The things in red is what I can't say. And the things in green is what I am allowed to say. I'm going to try my best to stick to the green side. So I can't say that. So I'm going to say this oppressor, who most likely is an alternative lifestyle, and I'm pretty sure is the son of people who have abused us in the past. Give myself a hand. So yeah, let's get this. Let's get this Edomite. Let me share this. I'm only gonna share a little bit of what this person had to say. Let me see right here. Share the screen. Okay. Why I want you to put me up there with it? Put me on the side of this person right there. Let me see. Okay. All right. And let's get with this oppressor had to say.
LeBron James has completed one of the most stunning coups in sports history, albeit one of the most predictable and totally unsurprising.
First of all, try him to know what just said. He said LeBron James has committed a coup. That is extreme. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I've ever watched these little lawyer shows or business shows, when they talk about a coup, that's a bad thing, Aaron. That is punishable by death. That is like what would they call it? What does America call this stuff? Treason. It's kind of like treason. Like a coup is something that's evil and shouldn't be done. And apparently, that's what LeBron James just did. I'm gonna start it over. Let's hear him say it again.
Well, LeBron James has completed one of the most stunning coups in sports history, albeit one of the most predictable and totally unsurprising ones. As the now deadbeat laughingstock Lakers organization, formerly one of, if not the most storied and revered in NBA history, drafted a kid who would not have been anywhere remotely close to anyone's big board if he were not the son of the fraud king himself, LeBron James. But credit to the self-proclaimed fake GOAT for single-handedly willing his son into the NBA on the back of the good old nepotism pony as the LA Lakers drafted his scrub son with the 55th pick in the NBA draft.
The Los Angeles Lakers select Bronny James.
And again, that was after a season where Bronny averaged just 4.8 points per game on a bad college team this past season, and that was before measuring in at just 6.
Okay. That's enough. Now, aside from his personal opinions of who LeBron James is, right? He said he single-handedly willed his son into the league. He said that. His scrub son at that. Scrub. I could go down a list of all the second-round picks in NBA history that averaged less than 4 points per game that were drafted. I can do that. I can go to the pick that was picked last year, the 55th pick. No one cared about it. There's a brother who didn't get drafted. I believe he averaged 16 points per game for USC. And everybody is like, well, the Lakers should have got him. Because he, if it wasn't for LeNepotism, it wasn't for what did he say? He called it the nepotism bomb or something like that. If it wasn't for that, they would have got him, the 16 point per game guy. There were 3 picks after Bronny. The 56, 57, and the 58. The 59th and 60th overall pick were vacated due to some penalties penalized to these teams, so they couldn't draft. So Bronny was one of the last 4 people to be picked in the NBA draft. No other team picked old boy either. Nobody else picked him. So, I mean, I don't see what the problem is at 55. Now, this oppressor, he's flabbergasted that nepotism is happening. It didn't take much. I did a little soft search. I wanted to pull up something for you real quick. Let me go ahead.
If I could.
He
also said that LeBron frauded his son. Like, he was a fraud.
The fraud king.
The fraud king to get his son in the league. That's crazy. I hate for a guy getting his son in the league out of all the years of living.
Out of all mine either. Here we go. I want to show you something. Now, I watch movies. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, I watch TV. But the list I'm about to show you, I don't know half these people. I'm sure you would know them because you know everybody. I don't know any of these people. So, but I do want to bring this out real quick. Or pull this up, rather. This is an article from Cosmopolitan, right? And this article talks about let me see if I got the name. I present all the celebs you didn't know were Nepo babies. So when I was researching this, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, nepotism is so much ingrained in the world, they have a nickname for it. Nepo babies. Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of that? Me either. I haven't heard the word nepotism. They've used nepotism more than women have used gaslighting. And you know women use that word a lot. Nepotism came out of the blue. I've heard of it before, but I really wasn't familiar with it. But since the 55th overall pickout, it's all I've been hearing. It's a new word I've added to my vocabulary. That's how much I've been hearing this word. Now, apparently, this ain't nothing new. So these are Nepo babies. I'm not going to go through this. It's 85 slides of celebrity Nepo babies. And I'm not going to go through all of them. But when I did go through some of them, I learned some things about these people that I didn't even know. So now, Nicole, reality star, fashion designer, and Sophia Richie. She's a model. I know who this guy is. That's what, was it Lionel Richie, right? I know who he is. And it's funny, too. This article says, when your career is so bright, you have to wear shades. They scratched out thanks to your dad. You know what I'm saying? You see that, right? Oh, can y'all see that? Thanks to your dad, right? Now, this is slide number 1. Let's see who else was on here. Emma Roberts. She's an actress. Do you recognize this other lady right here? That's Julia Roberts. She was in what, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I believe. Is that her? No, that's Angelina Jolie. So like that. These oppressors resemble each other. Julia Roberts, Ocean's 11. That's what I remember her from. What else? Anybody? Any other?
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. Oh, the prostitute. Got you. Who? What else?
There's so many.
I'm pretty. She's famous.
Yeah.
This is her niece. This article says, like aunt, like niece. You can't mistake that Roberts family smile. Let's go to another one. Let's see. Y'all recognize him? That's Nicolas Cage. That's Ghost Rider. That's what's his name from National Treasure. Hell, his discography is long. He's been in all types of movies, right? Let's see what it says about him. Nicolas Cage, the actor and producer. As if we needed more proof that Nick Cage is a time-traveling vampire. This is just some gossip right here. Here's a pic of him looking like an actual clone of his father, August, I guess it's Coppola. You know, the brother of Godfather's director, Francis Ford, and uncle of Sophia. This is Nick Cage. I've never heard nobody say Nick Cage didn't deserve where he's at or that he's a Nepo baby. And I've watched a lot of his movies. You know what I'm saying? Very entertaining character. Let's get some more. This is it. We just talked about him. Sophia Coppola, however, actress and filmmaker. Wait, maybe I wasn't clear enough. Sophia Coppola and Nicolas Cage are cousins. Damn. That's kind of close, right? Let's see. Now, I don't know who this person is. Y'all know who this is? Yeah, I'm going to skip them, but Nepo baby. I know who this person is. No, I don't know the person. I know the parent. Lily Rose Depp. She's an actress and a model. Her father is Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp. You know what I'm saying? And listen, Johnny Depp is one of the greatest actors ever. You know what I'm saying? And his daughter is an actress and a model. I'm sure she made it, off her talent and her looks. Her work ethic. I'm sure she was, someone who was sought out after because she could read a script. Oh man, and her knowledge of the history of modeling. I mean, her and don't think and we're not gonna talk about that thesis she wrote in biology. Her biology thesis was groundbreaking, and she was able to get a chance. Not according to Cosmopolitan. They say having Jack Sparrow as a dad, check. having a stunning French singer as a mom also checks. So now I don't know these people. So the mom is supposedly famous as well. We 6 slides in. Let me see who else is on here. Hold on. Let's not go too far. Who is that? Oh, I don't know this person. I don't know this person either. I know this person. George Clooney, America's favorite white boy. Can I say that? America's favorite oppressor boy. And let me see. It says, long story short, his dad is a famous anchorman, Nick Clooney, and his aunt is old Hollywood star Rosemary Clooney. George Clooney, Rosemary Clooney, and Nick Clooney. Is this not nepotism? No one ever said George Clooney didn't deserve a spot. No one ever said, hey, why is George Clooney on the screen? Why are you giving him these? I don't know if he won awards, but I mean, if I was voting, he would have had one. Ocean's 11 is one of my favorite installments. You know what I'm saying? Love the movie. Love all of them. So I've never looked at that and said he shouldn't have. You know what? I didn't even know his father was in the industry. That's how far removed from it I am. Now, let me see. Let me see if we can run through a couple more of these people you recognize. Zoe Kravitz. She's an actress. I'm sure she was top of the line at Berkeley. Is it Berkeley? Where would they go for the the College of Acting? I'm sure she was top of the line. Her father being Lenny Kravitz, I'm sure had nothing to do with it. Let's see, Jennifer Aniston. I've heard of that name. From Friends, right? Well, she must have gotten her dramatic Rachel Green hair flips from her Days of Our Lives star father, John Aniston. Didn't even know it, huh? Let me see. Matt Healy, don't know. It was another person on here I wanted to stop at. No. Well, we know about these people. We ain't even got to talk about the Kardashians. Where was the other one there? No. And you notice, we ain't seen too many black people. I've been skipping a lot of these slides. We ain't seen a lot of black people. We ain't seen no Mexicans. We ain't seen no Native Americans. But that oppressor person had a problem with LeBron James. What he said, single-handedly getting his son onto the Lakers. Let me see. Robert Downey Jr. I didn't know this. Even Iron Man needs a little help from dad. Not only was his father, Robert Downey Sr., a popular filmmaker in the 60s and 70s, but his uncle was a writer on Saturday Night Live. This is his uncle. No one ever says. Listen, Robert Downey Jr. doesn't even get flack for playing a black guy in blackface and Tropic Thunder. No one even canceled him because of Tropic Thunder, let alone nepotism. So what is the real issue here? Let me stop sharing this. Let me stop right here. That's enough of these people. Now, what I want to show now, right? If anybody got any questions too, you can type them in the chat. But if not, I'm gonna just roll with you. You checking it to see if, yeah, see if somebody has any questions. Okay, that's cool. So, to the Israelites, right? So now, fake Israelites, they're taking the stance of that oppressor. Oh man, Bronny wasn't qualified. Oh man, LeBron. Even the title, right? LeNepotism. I got that from one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody in the school. First of all, what is the first thing we ask a brother or a sister when they decide to come to class or come into the school? What's the first thing we ask them? Sister, who is your father? Oh, yeah.
They ask who their father is.
We ask who their father is. Why? Because entrance into the Israelite school of universal and practical knowledge is predicated on your father. You're only in here because of your father. Which brings me to some of these scriptures. Let me get some of these scriptures real quick. Give me Genesis 16. I'm not 16. Genesis 6 and 17. I'm gonna read 17 and 18. And I got another video I want to play too. But just to show you that nepotism, it's in the Bible. It's biblical. Paul said, where there's no law, there's no sin. Where there's no transgression of the law, because that's what sin is. Well, I don't think there's a law against nepotism, because if it is, then I think this would be wrong. You heard what I asked for? 17. Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 17. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of water upon the earth.
Now, this is when the Lord was about to flood the earth because of, and if I could, shout out to Officer Kazak Damar out of Florida last night. He battled some guy on falling angels and if it's biblical or not. And brother, when I say he slaughtered him, it was ridiculous. It was so bad. Really, okay, now don't get me wrong, Kazak did his thing for sure. But the brother unalived himself. He took his own life. That's what the brother did. The whole title of the debate is, are fallen angels biblical? Now, unless I didn't forgot what biblical means, doesn't biblical means pertaining to the Bible? In his opening round, he read from the Ascension of Isaiah. I don't know what the hell that is, but I can guarantee you it's not in the Bible. And when I tell you Kazak made mincemeat of this brother in his Book of Enoch, Book of Jasher, and all this garbage and nonsense, right? Just completely, I'm talking about obliterating him out. Oh my God. I don't know if they recorded that, but if they put that on YouTube, they'll have to put a warning on it. It was that bad. He completely did. But the reason why I brought this up, because of course, one of the contentions was the Genesis 6 chapter, when they talk about the sons of God sleeping with the daughters of men. Where here, this is what the Lord brought on the flood, right? So we up at 17 and we start at the beginning again.
And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of water upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under the heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die.
Everything that's in the earth that shall what?
Shall die.
Okay. Everything in the earth is going to die because of these waters that the Most High is bringing. Read the next part.
But with thee.
But with what?
But with thee.
So now everybody is going to die on the earth. But what?
But with thee. Will I establish my covenant.
Now, it didn't say with y'all. It didn't say with everybody. It said with thee. Who is the thee in this? Noah. Keep reading.
And thou shalt come into the ark. Thou. And thy son. And thy wife. And thy sons' wives with thee.
With who?
With thee.
This is the Lord establishing a covenant with Noah. Not Noah and his family, but with Noah is who he established it with. Through Noah, it extended to Noah's wife, Noah's 3 sons, and their wives. I wonder what would have happened if they were not Noah's children. Things would have been pretty bad, I think. If it wasn't for good old nepotism. If it wasn't for good old nepotism. Oh man, Shem, Ham, Japheth. It would have been somebody else. Noah and his wife and whoever the Lord would have made come out of Noah's loins. Would have been talking about it. Would have been Semites. Would have been something else. But because they were the children of Noah, because she was married to Noah, guess what? They were able to be saved. And it wasn't the ark that saved them. No. It was Noah's obedience to the Most High and their relationship to Noah, which saved their life. As a matter of fact, let's get that. Pull up the definition of nepotism. I want to see if this fits this. And when you put it up, just keep it. Because all these scenarios, we're going to see if nepotism plays a part. What, you found it? The mic work over here? You want her to read it? Go ahead, read it, sis.
The definition of nepotism: the practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives, friends, or associates, especially by giving them jobs.
Okay, wait. Read that definition again. Read it one more time.
Nepotism: the practice amongst those with power.
Wait, stop. The what?
With power.
The practice amongst those with power to do what?
Or influence. Of favoring relatives, friends, or associates, especially by giving them jobs.
So now, is this nepotism? By family, by relative, by power and influence. Go ahead in the back.
You want another definition? They also have nepotism is an act of granting an advantage, privilege, or position to relatives or friends in an occupation or field.
Good night. Read it again. What are you giving?
Nepotism is the act of granting an advantage.
Granting an advantage. Now, we just read at the end of verse 17, everything that is in the earth shall die. Everything. What the next part say?
It says granting an advantage, privilege, or position to relatives or friends in an occupation or field.
Now, everybody was going to die. But the Lord said, but with thee I will establish my covenant. And his wife, his sons, and their wives got the advantage to live. Go ahead, sis, you want to say something?
If I may, they said the actual meaning of nepotism, the unfair use of power.
Read it again.
The unfair use of power in order to get jobs or other benefits for family or friends.
The unfair use of power. Now, everybody on the earth died except for Noah, his 3 sons, and their wives. 8 people lived off the nepotism of 1. If they were not Noah's sons, where would they be? Where was Noah's cousins? I don't think I seen Noah's cousins on here. What about Noah's friends? Did they make it? What about his wives' people? Noah had a wife, she had a family, she had a father, brothers potentially, nieces, nephews maybe. I don't think they was on the ark. Why was she there and her family? She was married to Noah. I think that's nepotism. You think they was crying about that? I think nepotism would have been I think everybody wanted that nepotism. Moving forward. Give me Genesis 17:1 real quick. And I want to play this video. And this video, for those of you who have children, right? Especially for the men, for the brothers who got children. And Bronny is his firstborn. This is Bronny's Junior. This is LeBron James Jr., right? You know how you feel about Junior. the inheritance go to Junior. Like, this is your first child. And I think he had him when he was like, what, 18? You know what I'm saying? I think he was probably coming out of high school. Maybe the real was, his wife was pregnant. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? This is his firstborn son. I want to play this video real quick. Right. Is this the one? Okay, yeah, right here.
One on my fucking list.
That's dope.
He's number one on my list.
Who you want to play with?
Okay, this is the I must have missed the question. This is the question right here. Listen to what he said.
Who you want to play with?
Bronny is number one on my fucking list.
That's dope.
He's number one on my list that I want to play with for
You want him
sure.
to beat you? You think?
Nah, he can't beat me.
Hey, Bronny, beat your daddy, man.
Not too long ago, I said, I asked him, I said, what you want to do with this? Like you want to get to the pros? What you want to do? He's like, yeah. I said, why? He said, because I want to make a name for myself. And when I heard that, I was
That's more
like,
motivating than money.
Yeah.
I was like,
Legendary.
That's the bigger motivator than money.
What you gonna say to that?
Nothing.
I said, well, let's fucking get it.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Say no. That's all I need to hear.
What he's saying to you in your face is, I appreciate what you did.
But back the fuck
I
up.
want to be
yeah,
me.
yeah, and I love it. By the way, he changed his name to Bronny.
Now, they asked his brother, who would you want to play with? If you had a list of players you got a chance to play with, who would it be? He said his son. It's number one on his list. He said he talked to his son, and his son said the thing that he wanted to do most in life was make it to the NBA. No, LeBron said, let's get it. Now, this was, when did they film this? This is like 2 years ago. He said, let's do it. This is a father paving the way for his son. Surely cannot be wrong with that. As a matter of fact, before we go there, give me no, we're not gonna go there yet. We'll come back to it. Read what you got right there. We're gonna read verses 1 through 8 real quick. Genesis 17, 1 through 8.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 1. And when Abraham was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abraham and said unto him, I am the Almighty God.
Right.
Walk before me and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly.
Right, read that part again. He gonna make his covenant with who?
I will make my covenant between me and thee.
The Lord is telling Abraham, I'm gonna make a covenant between me and you. He didn't say me, you, and your sister and your cousins too. He didn't say that. He said me and you. This is a deal that the Lord is coming to Abraham about. I'm gonna make a deal with you. Keep reading.
And I will multiply thee exceedingly.
Keep reading.
And Abraham fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
Okay. Let me see. Skip down to verse 7.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee in their generation, for an everlasting covenant to be a God unto thee.
Right.
And to thy seed after thee.
So now this is the Lord telling Abraham, because of you, thy seed, his seed, and all the seeds of that generation are going to have a covenant. because of you. We always say Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We never say, Jacob, Isaac, Abraham. Why? Because Abraham is who he established a covenant with. Read okay. Now, drop down to verse 18. This is where it gets interesting.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 18. And Abraham said unto God, "Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee."
Whoa, hold on. Read that part again.
And Abraham said unto God, "Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee."
Now. This is Abraham pleading for Ishmael's life. I find it interesting because usually when people get here, I don't know if they understand where in the timeline they are. Because the Lord said, "I'm going to establish a covenant with you and thy seed." Who's his seed right now? In what we're reading? You know what I mean? Ishmael. So why did he say unto the Lord that Ishmael might live before thee? Why did he say that? Because obviously the Lord ain't talking about Ishmael. Why didn't he mention Isaac? You got that definition about the unfair? Pull that up. Don't read it yet, but pull that up. Read the next part.
Verse 19. And God said, "Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee."
Wait. Read it again.
And God said, "Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee."
Stop. She'll do what?
Bear thee.
Shall bear, right? Not has bared, is bearing, or just bared. Shall bear.
Right.
Meaning this ain't happened yet. So this covenant that he established with Abraham and his seed, this seed isn't even here right now. Ishmael is, but the seed the Lord talking about ain't even here. Keep reading.
Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac.
Let's call him what?
Isaac.
That's important. Keep reading.
And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant and with his seed after him.
Now, this is the Lord telling Abraham, I'm going to pick Isaac and I'm going to make a covenant with him because of you and Sarah, because Sarah was prophesied to have a child. Abraham didn't believe it. Sarah didn't believe it. So Sarah suggested that he get with Hagar, how you pronounce her name? And he had Ishmael. But this is not the son whom the Lord said I was going to choose. This is not the seed that I'm going to put my name with or my covenant with, because this didn't come from the woman who I said was going to have it. He said Sarah shall bear. Seems like Isaac is only going to be the seed because who? Give him a hand. The mama. Because Ishmael is already here. That's Abraham's seed. But it's not Sarah's. Read verse 21.
But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at the set time in the next year.
When?
At the set time in the next year.
Now, it takes 9 months to have a baby, right? So if this seed the Lord is talking about is going to be here in the next year, is Sarah even pregnant right now? She's not even pregnant. Is this fair to Ishmael? I don't think. Listen, is this fair to Ishmael? The Lord said, "I'm gonna make a covenant with your seed, Abraham." Ishmael's Abraham's seed. I bet Ishmael out there like, okay, covenant seed is only me. And he says, Sarah shall bear. Oh. What about the firstborn? Don't the inheritance supposed to go to the firstborn? Read the definition of nepotism again for me.
Nepotism, the unfair use of power.
The what?
The unfair use of power.
Now, the unfair use of power. Power was used right here. Whose power was it? It was the Most High. If the firstborn is usually the one who gets inheritance, and Ishmael isn't getting it and is skipping him, is it fair?
And it also says, if I may, practice of favoritism based on kinship.
Give her a hand. Goddamn. The practice of favoritism based on kinship. Well, let's see. They both came from Abraham. That's a check. But he said Sarah was going to bear it. Listen, Ishmael, you can go, you're going to be a great nigga. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have 12 princes and you're going to be blessed. But my covenant is going to go to Isaac. And that's what happened. Is this not nepotism? Is it unfair? Absolutely. But is it just? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Give the Lord a hand for good old nepotism. Oh, yeah, we all nepotism babies. Okay, let me see. I was gonna play that video again, but I'm gonna stop this one. And I got one more video I want to play. And this one right here. Okay, I'm gonna share. Okay. Now, if y'all don't know, for people who don't know much about Bronny James, he was, I want to say, like top 20 in his class coming out of high school. He elected to go to USC. Before the season started, he suffered cardiac arrest on the practice court, right? This brother almost lost his life doing the thing that he said he wanted to do. Mind you, that video from Bron was 2 years ago. So meaning Bron is still in high school. Senior year. So this thing hadn't happened yet. Know what I'm saying? So now we fast forward, Bronny suffers cardiac arrest. They don't, let alone playing basketball. They didn't know if he would live. Like as a parent, as a father, that's something that you would never wish on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, the idea of your son dying at practice would devastate anybody. Well, the brother made a full recovery and continued playing for USC, which is why he averaged the 4 points per game. He was out the whole season because he suffered something that will be career, life-ending. He was able to fight back and earn his way back on the team and earn his way into the draft that you said was orchestrated by his father, single-handedly picked somebody who didn't deserve it. It was unfair. Let's listen to what he said right here. This was posted like a month ago.
I want to actually start with Bronny.
Yeah.
This past week, he was in Chicago at the Combine. And first of all, I've never met Bronny. But I will say, in all the interviews and clips that I saw, his perspective and his mindset at that age was like really stood out. It was actually quite remarkable. For you as a dad, and obviously my kids play basketball and they're much younger, but as a dad watching him go through this process, what's it like?
Wow, this is where we're kicking it off with, huh, JJ? We go right to that topic. I love it. I love it.
First of all, I want you to notice something. Did you see the smile on his brother's face? This was filmed while his son was in Chicago for I think it was the combine, getting ready for the draft, right? This is well after the cardiac arrest. This smile isn't just a smile of a father who is realizing that his dream, as well as his son's dream, is about to come to fruition. But the fact that he overcame something and fought to be there. He fought. You know how many people give up on that hospital bed? You know how much they when people are like I don't want to say deathly ill, but let's say somebody has cancer, right? And they're going through the process of chemotherapy. You know, they encourage family members to be there because just having a support system gives a person the will to fight to live. The will to fight, because you can just give up. You know how many people just give up on life because no one is there? Imagine you when you was at your lowest. You know what I'm saying? Having somebody there to keep going for. Well, Bronny had his parents. And this is his father talking about seeing his son in Chicago during the combine.
You know, as a parent to be able to be, there to witness a child of yours start to live out a dream of theirs is something Bronny has always talked about, and he's, said, we asked him plenty of times, like, what is your end goal? And his end goal is to be in the NBA. And to see him almost at that moment, for a parent is something that you could just be in awe of, because I mean, that's what you want your kids to be able to live out their dreams, and whatever that is, whatever, direction they take, you want them to be able to live out their dreams. And for, myself and Savannah to be there and be at the combine this past week in Chicago, to see him out there with other kids that's trying to live out their dream. It was a pretty remarkable, I don't know what to say, / this is exciting, feeling for our whole family. And I probably know the same feeling for him as well.
Okay. Give me Psalms 110:1. This is a father, right, who 2 years ago was asked, who do he want to play with most? He said his son. His son said it was his dream to make it to the NBA. The father said, let's get it. That oppressor accused this brother, whether it's true or not, accused this brother of single-handedly orchestrating everything. What do you call it? A coup. He ran a coup to get his son drafted in the NBA. Read what you got.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 110, verse 1. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand.
Read it again.
The Lord said unto my Lord.
This is, you know who wrote the Psalms? David wrote the Psalms. This is David talking to his son, Solomon. What did he tell Solomon?
The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand.
No, go sit somewhere else in the back.
Sit thou at my right hand.
No, go sit somewhere else and fight your way up here.
Sit thou at my right hand.
He told Solomon to sit at my right hand. Not stand up, not gird your loins. Sit at my right hand. Keep reading.
Until I make thy enemies thy footstool.
Make thy enemies thy what?
Thy footstool.
Thy what?
Thy footstool.
This is David telling his son, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies thy footstool. That's a father that loves his son.
Right.
That's a father that do whatever he has to do to make sure his son gets the kingdom.
Right.
Well, LeBron James did everything he could have to do for his son to live out his dream. Is it nepotism? You absolutely right it is. Absolutely. It was nepotism when LeBron did it. It was nepotism when Noah did it. It was nepotism when the Lord gave it to Isaac over Ishmael. And it's nepotism right now for him giving it to Solomon. That's exactly what it is. He said, I'm going to fight for you to get this done for you. That's a father. That's a real man. Now, am I telling you to go get spiritual advice from LeBron James? I am not. Don't do that, brother. If you want to learn how to, lay up in traffic, you know what I'm saying? You holler at the boy. You want to figure out how to drop a dime? He's number 4 in NBA history. You want to learn how to get a bucket? He's number 1 in NBA history. Although you can find a person who's better skilled. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. What you got?
Salaki, if you want to learn how to make sure that you can stay playing basketball for a bunch of years.
How could I forget that? If you want to figure out how to play at a high level for 20 years in the NBA, you go to him. But to come down to the Most High in Christ, no. I'm not telling you that that's the brother. But what I am saying, what he did is biblical. And we see it right here. As a matter of fact, give me and this is what bothered me, right? Give me Deuteronomy 7:6. For the fake Israelites, right, they came out and said, well, he's not qualified. Oh, well, Bronny James, he wasn't that good. What does the old person call him? A scrub. You know what I'm saying? He's a scrub. And we got some of our people who agree with him, who agree that the brother didn't do anything to deserve it. He was unqualified and all that. But I just want to bring you back to what you are and why you're even here, why you're even in the truth if you're in the UPK, and why you think you're still in the truth when you're not in the UPK. It's not because you were the greatest. But we're going to read it. Read what you got out. Read Deuteronomy 7 and start at verse 6.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. Above all people.
Above all who?
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So now fake Israelites will read this to you or read this to themselves and feel like now they're a priest. Now they can go out and teach people. Oh man, listen, we are above all people. We better than everybody. Well, when you say that Bronny James isn't qualified, I don't think we was either. Read that next verse, Art.
Verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because ye were more in number.
He didn't pick us because we was the biggest. No, he didn't do that. He didn't even pick Isaac because he was the first, because Isaac wasn't. He didn't do that. That's not why he picked you. He didn't. If you know anything about the scriptures and how the nations came about, we were the youngest nation to be established, the last nation to be established. Esau even came out before us. That is probably the most famous nepotism in the Bible, when the Lord chose Jacob over Esau. And Esau was the oldest, therefore he was the one who's supposed to receive the inheritance. And the Lord, what was the definition about nepotism? Unfair. The unfair use of power and influence. Well, the Lord did that. The Lord picked us. Not because we were the biggest, not because, like they said all the time in Egypt, right? Egypt had all the math. Egypt had all the building tools, all the whatever, the great whatever, all the knowledge, right? And Captain Zaryak tells them, we don't have to be first. We don't have to be the best at math. We don't have to be the best at building. We don't have to be the best at whatever you want to, whatever competition it is. We don't have to be the best. But the Lord chose us. He didn't choose you. Keep reading.
The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in numbers than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people.
You hear that? He didn't pick you because you were so great, because you was the smallest. You were the poorest. You are the most less fortunate. Like if you go read about Jacob and Esau, Esau was a hunter. Esau brought back something to the table. When they were talking about what you're gonna bring to the table, Esau brought meat to the table. He went out there and he hunt and he unalived animals to bring home meat for the family. Jacob dwelled in tents. You know what I'm saying? Like he was chilling. But he was picked. Not because he was some great hunter, not because he was some great, whatever. He was picked because that's just what the Lord chose to do. Because of the covenant he had with Abraham and Isaac. Keep reading.
Verse 8. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers.
Wait. Which he had sworn unto you?
Unto your fathers.
No, because you was just, you deserved it. You did everything you're supposed to do, and he swore it to you.
Because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers. No.
Clearly you were qualified. Clearly you as an, fake Israelite was just so qualified because you have everything. You're just so entitled. You just, you got all the knowledge, all the expertise, everything. You were just so good at what you do. That's not what the Bible said. He picked them because of what?
But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers.
He swore an oath to your father. That's why he kept you. You are the chosen seed because of something your father did. Because Jacob wrestled a goddamn angel. That's what he did. Your father, our father, wrestled an angel and got a blessing. So because our father had because he had the nuts to wrestle an angel, we reaped the benefits of that blessing. Not because we were the best, we were the weakest. Not because we were the first, we were second. We were the last nation. Not because we were the biggest, because we were the few in numbers, but because of the oath that he swore unto your father. Keep reading now.
Has the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand?
The Lord brought you out with a mighty hand because of a deal he made with your daddy. Not because of you. Not because, if you know, like we were in Egypt doing as the Egyptians do. We wasn't set apart. We wasn't holy. We were just like them. So much so that when we came out, Moses had to give laws so you don't go back. So you don't eat the way they eat, talk the way they talk, drink the way they drink, eat what they wear your hair the way they wear theirs. Majority of those laws that he gave in Leviticus was because that's what the Egyptians were doing. They were being LGBTQ members. No, that's on here. I'm good. They were being LGBTQ members in Egypt. The Lord said, a man that lied with mankind is an abomination. They were eating pork in Egypt. The Lord said, you shall not eat the swine. The swine is unclean to you. They were abusing women in Egypt. The Lord told you that an abuser would be put to unalive. You will not live for abusing women. That's what the Lord did. Because on the oath, he swore to your father, not to you. Keep reading now.
Has the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Now drop down to 17.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 17. If thou shalt say in thy heart, these nations are more than I.
These nations are what?
More than I.
These nations are what?
More than I.
So you think they're better than you because you see the rulership that they have, see the power that they have, all the prestige that they have, and you're the slave in their kingdom. This is back in Egypt, no differently than today. You look at that and say, well, surely they are more than I. What did the Lord say? Keep reading.
Then I, how can I dispose of them? Verse 18, thou shalt not be afraid of them.
Read it again.
Thou shalt not be afraid of them.
I know you think, right, you're unqualified. It's like you thought Bronny James was. You're unqualified because these other nations are just so much better than you. I mean, you know who I'm glad who didn't think that way? LeBron James. LeBron James didn't think that these other nations were better than him. He knows all the Nepo babies. We went through a whole slide of them. He knows that what he was doing ain't the first time it's ever been done, and it's not going to be the last. So he didn't look and say, well, they're doing this because they're better than us. Oh, Jeannie Buss, part owner of the Lakers. I wonder how she got that. Always because she was just so qualified. She was just so qualified. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about the thesis that she wrote. Her architecture thesis, her business managing thesis that she wrote in college will blow your mind. But that's not why she got that. Her father was the owner. The Buss family owns the Lakers. Or what about Donald Trump? You know, when Donald Trump became president, you cannot be a president and the head of businesses at the same time. So he had to step down from all his businesses. And guess who he gave it to? He gave it to the most qualified person from Harvard that was on his staff. Oh, no, he didn't do that. He gave it to his sons and daughters because they were so qualified. Listen, you ought to read the Intro to Business by Melania Trump. You know what I'm saying? By Eric Trump. I'm telling you, his thesis, you will let him run your house by how well he wrote this paper. Of course, I'm kidding. He got the job because he's his father's son. You understand what I'm saying? Donald Trump didn't think it was above him to pass down his business to his sons. He didn't think it was so. Or what about Jeff Bezos? Everybody knows him. Ain't that the Amazon dude, right? He's so rich. And I mean rich. That when he divorced, his wife became one of the richest people in the world. Top 5. That's how much money he got. He got so much, or had so much money, that when he divorced, his wife jumped from not on the list to probably a competitor. That's how much money he had. You know how he started that? Take a wild guess. His father gave him $150,000. I'm sure it was because of, how well his credit was, and the bank knew that because of his portfolio. I mean, you saw the portfolio. Have you seen Jeff Bezos' portfolio? I mean, I'm telling you, brother, that's not why he got it. His daddy gave him $150,000, and he started Amazon. Even Donald Trump. Donald Trump is so lost in reality, right? When he talk about how he started in business, he say he got it out the mud. He got it on his own. All it took was some measly loan his father gave him of $1 million. Back in that time, $1 million in the 70s. Probably ain't that much, but it damn sure worth more than a regular million is today. Just a measly $1 million. Listen, that's all. That's all it was. He didn't go to the bank. He went to his daddy. His dada gave him $1 million and he became president eventually. But y'all got a problem with LeBron James getting his son into the league. I think they're very hypocritical of you. Who else? George Bush Jr. Do you not know there are rumors out that George Bush Jr. dodged the draft? This nigga didn't even go serve. George Bush didn't serve. Or if he did, no, I take the back. No, that's not what I'm saying. He didn't go to war. He avoided the war. But I'm sure his politics was just remarkable. Oh, brother, he's, the way he broke down on the economy and his plan for America was just great. Nah, I think maybe his father had something to do with it, who was also a president, George Bush Sr. If you look up every president, and I mean every president, they all got in off nepotism. Even Obama. Go look it up. Obama has ties to other presidents. Nepotism is in your face. You know what they call it? The way things go. They call it life. We got to put a word to it because it's unfair. No sweat. We're going to keep showing you that the idea of what some may call nepotism is in fact biblical. What were you at? Keep reading. And when you finish 18, we're gonna drop it. But go ahead, finish that out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 18. Thou shalt not be afraid of them, but shall well remember what the Lord thy God did unto Pharaoh and unto all Egypt.
Okay, so let's drop that in. I can really just beat it into the ground with this because it's everywhere. It is everywhere in the Bible. Give me Luke 1:31. Wait, you know what? Give me 2 Samuel first. 2 Samuel 7:12. We're gonna read 12 and 13 first. I really had these the other way, but I think I need to read that first.
2 Samuel what?
7 and 12. Yeah, let's see if if LeNepotism is wrong. Read when you got it.
This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 7, verse 12. And when thy days be fulfilled.
Read it again.
And when thy days be fulfilled.
This is the Lord talking to David. Read it, keep reading.
And thou shalt sleep with thy fathers. I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels.
Out of where?
Out of thy bowels.
And read the next part.
And I will establish his kingdom.
Now, this didn't say, and when you sleep with your fathers, somebody's going to take over and we're going to put the best person, who's qualified to lead the kingdom, we're going to put it in his hands. That's not what the Lord told David. The Lord said, when you sleep with your fathers, I will set up your seed after you. And I will establish his kingdom. Keep reading.
Verse 13. He shall build an house for my name. And I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
For how long?
Forever.
So now the Lord didn't say we're going to figure out, who's the best qualified to lead this nation. we're gonna have this one, big council, and we're gonna just, open the floor up to men who y'all think are worthy enough to establish in this kingdom, because that's what we did at first. That's how we got Saul. See, the Lord didn't want to give us a king. We begged the Lord to give us a king because all the other nations had him. So the Lord obliged us. We had judges and prophets. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, you know what? You want a king? No sweat. We picked Saul thinking that he was going to be the one. Well, the Lord chose David. And the Lord is telling David, I'm going to choose someone from your bowels. He didn't say I'm going to choose the most competent or the most fit or the most qualified. No, he didn't say that. He said, from thy bowels would I pick him, and he's going to reign on your throne forever. Now get me Luke 1:31. Now give me that.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 31. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb.
Now, if I could, 1 second. So this is the angel talking to Mary. This is when right before Christ was born. So the angel came and visited Mary. There's an angel that came and visited Joseph. This is Luke's account of when the angel came to visit Mary concerning Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb and bring forth a son and shall call his name Jesus. He shall be great and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord God shall give unto him the throne of his father David.
So now how is he getting this throne? The Lord God shall give unto him the throne of his father David. So because David's his daddy, he's going to get this. Because the Lord swore to David, out of your seed, out of thy bowels shall I raise up one who's going to sit on your throne forever. The angel tell Mary and Luke that the Lord's gonna choose him to sit on David's throne. All the hard work David did. And David did some hard work. One of my favorite classes is when General Muhammad broke down how the tribe of Issachar was paramount in bringing about the unity of Israel. I mean, it without them, without the so-called Mexicans, David would never have united the kingdom. And the kingdom was the only time the kingdom was united. It's under David and Prophet Solomon. After matter of fact, when Solomon sinned, right, the Lord said, I'm going to split the kingdom. I'm going to take the kingdom from you. But because I loved your father so much, not because I love you so much, not because you're just so great, Solomon. No. Because of your father, I will not take the kingdom from you. But I'm going to take it from your sons. You see that? The Lord loved David so much that even when Solomon sinned, he didn't want to punish Solomon. He didn't want to take it from Solomon because of his father. Took it from his sons, though. So under David and under Solomon was the only time Israel was ever united. And the Lord said, because of your father David, I'm going to give him this throne. Keep reading.
Verse 33. And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever.
For how long?
Forever.
So not only is this person I'm going to give the throne to, he's the last nigga getting it. He's going to reign over it forever. Keep reading.
And of his kingdom there shall be no end.
And there will not be an end to his kingdom. Now, this is before Christ got here. Right. Now, when Christ got here, he went to work out. It was prophesied he was going to get it. But he still went out there and done it. He did the work. in the temple, schooling the priests, schooling the Pharisees, picking the disciples, establishing the truth, teaching these brothers, and then ultimately giving his life for his people. Christ taught us that a master is not better than a servant. That's what he taught us. He taught us how to love one another the way he loved the church or the Israelites, the school. To give your life for. He told brothers to love your wives the way you love yourself. He didn't just, although it was prophesied that he would get it, he got it and then went to work with it to establish it. He didn't sit on his loins. Right? He wasn't a child that was promised a throne and never did any work for it. Oh no, he absolutely got it. You know who else got it too? Bronny James. Yeah, he wasn't sitting at home playing video games. He wasn't, a truck driver. He didn't work for UPS. You know what I'm saying? Or FedEx or something like that. He wasn't doing DoorDash and Uber Eats, and then LeBron was like, come here, nigga, you're gonna be the 55th pick. I mean, he did go to college, right? I mean, he did make it, he did go play in the combine. He did register for the draft. It ain't like he was just sitting on the couch not doing anything. He did come back from cardiac arrest. I don't know. You tell me. I think he earned it. Same way Christ earned it. Go ahead.
Salaki, if I could, I don't know too many people that made it into the NBA without having to go through the combine.
Give him a hand.
Like, you got to go through the combine unless you was just a dog in high school and in college.
Now, and that's true. Okay. Remember, he wasn't picked number one. Number one would have been ridiculous. Even with the 17th pick that they had, would have been ridiculous. We're talking about the 55th pick. 55th. You don't think you wouldn't waste the 55th pick? Who was the 55th pick last? You don't know. No one knows. You gotta Google it. The year before that, good night. The year before that, who even cares? And I tell you, next year, no one's gonna care about this. No one gives a damn about the second round. Outside of the lottery, no one even cares. But you know why they cared about this? Because this is King James. You understand? Like, and guess what? The Lord told King David, your son is gonna rule. King David told Solomon, sit down on my right hand while I make your enemies my footstool. So King David paved the way for his son to take over. Go ahead.
Okay, if I could, just real quick. It's crazy how the internet and everybody's making this just a big old deal. Because when the oppressor uses nepotism, nobody says nothing.
Nobody bats an eye.
They're not going to speak on it. They're not going to even talk about it. It's been done from generations on down to generations.
Right.
That to them, that's leaving a legacy for somebody else to pick up.
Give him a hand.
But,
that's exactly what it is.
But for LeBron to do it, he's the biggest, he's the king fraud of getting his son there.
Did a coup.
He did a coup.
A coup.
It ain't the fact that he was great, so he's leaving a legacy for his other sons, and his other sons actually had to grind for it too, because he's not just giving it to him like, Donald Trump getting $1 million, The boy had to go to the combine and actually do good in the combine.
That's true. Say it again, sis.
America is the biggest hypocrite ever.
They built on it. The whole preamble to the Constitution was built on hypocrisy. Now, so we showed it, right? We showed nepotism is in the Bible. The unfair use of power is in the Bible. It's nepotism. Because of what your father was, that's what you are today. Because of Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, they lived. Because of Abraham, Isaac got the covenant. Because of Isaac, Jacob got the promises. Because of Jacob, we are allowed to come into the truth today. Well, no, Salakia. Because of Christ. But because of Jacob, that's why we Israelites. But because of Christ is why we got a second chance. And speaking of second chance, now this is for anybody in the school, right? You know, who may, and I know it ain't nobody here. Like, we all understand what we're in here fighting for. Like, we're not just trying to make it. We're trying to rule it. You know what I'm saying? Especially the men here. We go through Hebrew Academy for a reason. We're trying to be the 144,000, Christ's, sidekicks. We're trying to be the 144 to rule under Christ. That's what we're trying for. That's what we're seeking to do. We're not just trying to make it, just trying to get by. We're trying to make thine election sure. Listen, David said, if I can just be a doorman into the kingdom. And if that's what ended up happening, I ain't tripping on that either, Lord. But if I could rule something, that's what I'm going to do. Now, give me Revelation 7 and 9. And I'm going to skip a lot of it and just get to the 9th verse. But in Revelation, the 7th chapter, that's when it talks about the 12,000 from each tribe becoming the government structure of Israel, the 144,000. And that's what every man, I don't know if you, I don't see why would you be here if you're not working towards that. Working towards being, the elect, one of the people to listen. I've done our jobs here. Like, I've worked for Esau. I'm still working for Esau. Like, I don't have a glorious position. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am a slave here. Lord willing, I want to rule some shit. I want to call some goddamn shots. You know what I'm saying? Quite like when that lady asked Christ, can my sons sit at thy right hand? He said, I don't know if you know what you're asking. Can they be baptized the way I'm baptized? Listen, I'm trying to be baptized the way Christ is baptized. That same scrutiny Christ is under, I'm under that. I don't go out and teach what the world loves to hear. I go out and teach what Christ taught so that the world can hate me just like it hated him. That's what I'm trying to do. In the hopes that what I do will go down to my son. And we're finna read about it. Read, start at verse 9.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 7, verse 9. After this, I behold.
So now this is after the 144,000 was sealed. Go ahead.
And after this, I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands.
So now this is all the other brothers and sisters who were not the 144,000 chosen to serve with Christ. These are the rest of the brothers and sisters who've made it on the chariots. Read the next part.
Verse 10. And cried with a loud voice.
With a what voice?
And cried with a loud voice.
Keep reading.
Saying, salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb.
Do you hear that? This is a cry that the people who just made it on the chariots are saying. Salvation, being free from persecution, being free from your enemies, from the hard bondage in which you were made to serve. This is Judgment Day. This is the day where the Lord cracked open the books, and your name was in the book of life. You know what I'm saying? Like you, like through Christ, you was able to not be that person you was anymore. And now because of the deed that you've done, give me Let's go to Revelation 20 in verse 4 through 6, and we're going to get up out of here. But I want to make sure I bring this home.
There's a book of Revelations, chapter 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones. Salakia. Yeah, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them. And judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon thy forehead or in the hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years.
Now, this is the people we just read about. The 144,000 and all the other brothers and sisters who made it onto the chariots, who were not, the governing body of Israel, but they still made it into the kingdom. They're living and reigning with Christ for 1,000 now. This is what they're good. This is a revelation, so it's a dream. So this is something that's a future prophecy. This is what's going to happen. They're going to rule with Christ for 1,000 years. Now, it's not exactly 1,000. The Bible isn't always specific when it comes down to numbers or years or time itself, but this is for a very long time. These people are going to rule with Christ for 1,000 years. Read the next part.
Verse 5. But the rest of the dead
But
live.
the rest of the who?
The rest of the dead.
But the rest of the who?
Dead. Live not again until the 1,000 years were finished.
You hear that? But the rest of the meaning, the people who didn't make it on the chariots, the ones who didn't make it in the book of life, the ones who didn't, who the Lord pulled up and their works and saw that they were wicked, they didn't get salvation. They didn't get to go into the pearly gates. No, they didn't get that. Those dead people, they didn't come back for that 1,000 years. Now, how can I word it so I won't give it away? If those people who didn't make it in the book of life didn't live during that 1,000 years, who were the people who were reigning, dying, and I think I just gave it away. Who are the people living and reigning with Christ for the 1,000 years? Get on the mic.
The Nepo babies.
I mean, that's obvious, but explain how it's nepotism.
So you talking about the kids that's coming from those that are reigning. So say for instance, if it was you, it'll be you and your family and all your kids and your kids' kids that came along with you and made it because you made it. All them kids and the generations that's gonna keep passing down, all those is gonna come.
What happened? Because that's you almost got me there. But there's only one thing you missed, and I'm gonna ask this. So what happens? It is gonna give it away, but what happens when I die?
You're gonna be reincarnated.
Into what?
The nepotism.
Give me.
We
Did you hear that?
We there.
Remember, the people who didn't make it on the chariots, those dead, they don't live for 1,000 years. And reincarnation is biblical. So everybody that's dying and coming back within that 1,000 years, they're dying and coming back into the kingdom, or in Lord willing, in our case, into the 144, based off who? Based off who?
Based off the 144,000 that lived.
Based off who?
You, the people that made it, the first 144.
The whole class we were talking about, based off who?
Your father.
Your father. You hear that? Based off your father. The 144 and along with everybody else in the kingdom are going to reign for 1,000 years. And the dead is not going to come back for 1,000 years while they're reigning with Christ. And those people being recycled and cycled in through reincarnation are coming back through the seeds of their father, through these royal bloodlines and these quote unquote government positions under Christ because of who their father was. I mean, it don't get no more. How flat can it get? It's already about as flat as the oppressor's daughter's butt. It's about as flat as it's gonna get. Nepotism is inheritance. That's all it is. Nepotism is an inheritance. And in a day where black men are not celebrated at all, they praise Dwayne Wade for his courage to let his son become a girl. That's wicked. You ain't not in the truth. That is wicked. That is a abomination. Well, LeBron James, he made it a way to where his son can make it in the NBA and achieve the dreams that he wants to achieve. I think that's righteous. I think that should be celebrated, applauded. I think that's what a black man should be doing for his family. And guess what? Everybody that's sitting in these classes, going to these Passovers, getting these Hebrew names, you're only there because of who your father was. So before you fix your lip to say something about a man and giving inheritance to his father, look at yourself and say, if it wasn't for my father, would I be here? With that, I'm going to pass the class over to Officer Ryan.
This is the I.S.U.P.K. security announcement. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister is interested in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There are another 6 months where the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandments, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10, means a tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department. The priest funds, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. The upcoming Holy Convocation, Memorial of the blowing of the trumpets, first day of the 7th month, Wednesday, the 2nd of October, 2024. Read Leviticus 23, 24 through 25. If any brother wants to become a trooper in the school, start wearing black boots, shirt, headband, and scarf. And those are the security announcements.
Also, for anybody in the Houston or I think it's the whole South Texas area, I think it's tropical storm barrel right now. But if you need any water, any non-perishables, make sure you get with your camp leaders and prepare like the ant. because we don't know what it's going to be. I think it's supposed to hit tomorrow, right? Later on tonight. So you know what I'm saying? We don't know what it's going to be. So just make sure you're prepared. I know you are, but in case you're not, make sure you call your camp leader or the nearest brother in your zone, or your captain or whatever. Make sure you get some water and all the things you're going to need in case you're stuck in there or the lights go out. With that, I'm going to say, Amayim, stand. And one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Amayim. Amayim Salakia. Amayim Shabbat. Amayim. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah. Daimata. Sorry, I mean turn to the sisters. And here's going to do one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amayim Shabbat. Amayim. Barak. Yahweh Shemalatah Ba'Hashem Yahushua. Daimata. Fair dismissed.